All right. What's going on, everybody? Before we get started with this week's episode, make sure you guys check out NordVPN. You can use NordVPN to browse the internet privately, safely, and securely. It allows you to unblock all sorts of things, such as streaming services in other countries. I use NordVPN myself. If you use our affiliate link in the bio below or on our website, gtdsports.com, you can save 70% on a $3.50 a month deal for up to 3 years. You can connect 6 devices simultaneously. It's available on just about whatever platform you use, iOS, Windows, anything. I use NordVPN myself, so check it out in our bio or any of the links on our website. Yeah. Boom. All right. Beer sip, then intro time.
For some reason, it's not letting me send this tweet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay.
It's all good. I'll go ahead and start. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bunnell, and alongside me is Elijah Span. This is our first ever live episode on Tuesday. We switched last week. We went Wednesdays every time, but now we are twice a week for football season. There's going to be a lot more to talk about, a lot more going on. So twice a week just works. It fits better. So now we're on Tuesday and Thursday from here on out until further notice. So we're live on YouTube, live on Twitch right now. You can make sure to check out the recorded version of our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or any other listening platform. Make sure to follow us on social media over at GTD_sports. And on TikTok, we are at gtdsports.com. If you want to follow along with all of our betting picks, me and Elijah are pretty active now on the Action Network, making picks for the NFL. I know I'm going to be picking a lot more. Elijah's going to be betting a lot more. So follow us, search us by our full name there to follow along with our picks. And last but not least, subscribe to the GTD Sports newsletter. You can find that at the bottom of our website, gtdsports.com. I feel like I said GTD a million times right there, but you kind of have to. How are we feeling this week? We got a great episode planned. Let's get into it.
We're inching closer and closer to real football. We even had some last weekend, so pretty good.
Yeah, college football was back. Did you make any picks on that? You had Illinois, right?
Yeah, I bet Illinois. I actually bet money line, so that was nice.
That was really nice.
Nebraska is a dumpster fire. I don't understand how, because they used to be one of the true powerhouses of college football 20 years ago in the early 2000s. And they have cool uniforms too. I forgot like how icy they are, like with the white and the red pants.
Yeah, they're all right. I'm just kind of used to them at this point.
It's been a long time since I actually sat down and watched Nebraska play, and I was like, dang, those are icy. But
yeah, their quarterback Martinez is supposed to be the real deal, but Scott Frost, Scott Frost came over from UCF, supposed to revitalize the program, make everything back to restore its greatness essentially, and absolutely nothing has happened. He has a losing record so far.
Yeah, he's been awful. He's a national championship at UCF too. So
quote unquote national championship. I'll count it though. I'll count it.
Highlight of the week. Kanye to the Illuminati confirmed. One of his songs was called Hurricane. While the actual hurricane is going on, he actually postponed the album like by 2 weeks. And when he released it, there's like a real hurricane going on right now in the Gulf Coast in New Orleans, and that which is a really serious deal. But Kanye did this on purpose, and he has a song called Hurricane on Donda, and I think the Illuminati confirmed.
I haven't really paid attention to Donda as much. Like I was hoping to have listened to it by now, but I heard something too that his label released it without his permission, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of behind on my Kanye fanboy days, so
yeah. I see. Are those Yeezys back there?
These are Yeezys right here.
My favorite thing to do back in the day when Yeezys were like popping is anytime I saw anybody with any sort of Adidas, I would just be like, bro, are those Yeezys? And they'd be like, what?
Dude, because they were the hype. They were so hyped.
Came
out. They've kind of died down now just because there's so many, but
yeah. No, but Illuminati confirmed. And then low light of the week. It's gonna be kind of a controversial opinion here, but I'm over the term GOAT. I think it's fucking stupid. I think we can all agree that it's really dumb. all you people on Twitter going, "Good night, goats. Hello, good morning, my goats. All of y'all are goated. This is goated. Who's the fucking goat Big Ten quarterback from 1985? Who fucking goat versus baby goat?" It's like, shut the fuck up. Like this, it's gotten so calling like there can't be this many greatest of all time things. That's not how it works. Just by the term itself, it's literally impossible. Like you're using English wrong, and it's
I never really thought about that.
I can't hold it in anymore, dude. I can't fucking hold it in. I hate it. It's gotten on my nerves so much. Anytime I see the emoji or just anybody saying goated on Twitter, like you're goated, it's constant. Like so many fucking Twitter stand pages of like Cade Cunningham the GOAT or like Jalen Green the GOAT. Like just like random ass players GOAT. It's like shut up. Please. So
honestly, I never really thought about that. Because when you say it like that, you're right. It is just super present, especially in social media, like all over the place. Accounts are literally dedicated with GOAT in the name.
Yeah,
I never really thought about it like that.
No.
Yeah, that is.
And it happened to me a couple of weeks ago when I saw like the Madden thing coming out, and it's like ESPN or the Madden Instagram account posted a picture of two goats, and then it was like goat, baby goat with Mahomes and Brady. And it's like, you can't keep doing this. This is cringe. Okay. They're
spreading it like a disease, bro.
It's like when Hillary Clinton did the dab in 2016. It's like, okay, the dab's over now.
Or whenever like Logan Paul went to the Olympics and just did it at every fucking event possible. Do you remember that?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I never really paid those guys much attention.
Well, I mean, me neither, but not until now, the boxing days. Yeah, boxing. So. Exactly. All right. Well, my low light, I'm going to start with my low light of the week since we're talking about boxing. My low light was just the fact that Jake Paul won. I had like a little bit over 3 units on Tyron Woodley to win. And I was kind of riding on that plus money. I thought there was a ton of value there. But turns out Jake Paul might actually be good at boxing. Which I actually really hate to think about. It's really painful to think about and admit even, but I'll tell you, he looked pretty good out there. I mean, Tyron Woodley's not a bad fighter by any means. He's not a boxer. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. He's never boxed before. So I do want to see Jake Paul fight a boxer, but I mean, he showcased some skills out there. You know, he had a good stance. He did a lot of, and I hate to agree with Skip Bayless, but Skip Bayless tweeted this during the fight. He's a right-handed fighter that does a lot of damage with his left, and that's a pro quality, which is true. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to be able to jab in with your left while still maintaining the power with the right. Only thing is, though, Jake Paul, his right hand didn't really have much power. I didn't really see any knockout power, so that's the only thing that I would be concerned about if he actually wants to make a career out of boxing. But I'm excited to see what's next. I hope he fights a real boxer, just because I will continue to bet against Jake Paul until I see him knocked out on the mat in the ring. I will double down every fucking time if I have to. It's going to happen eventually.
We got to get our money back.
Exactly. It's going to happen eventually. And then
that was definitely a lot better fight than the Ben Askren one. So
that's how I thought the Ben Askren one would go.
Yeah, that Ben Askren one was we don't have to talk about that. We all know what that was, but it was actually a good fight. So that was nice.
Yeah, it was nice to watch. There in the 4th round, especially, Tyron Woodley absolutely rocked Jake Paul. Unlike he's ever been hit before. He was very visibly wobbly. He fell up against the ring. He almost was knocked out then and there. But Tyron Woodley did a poor job. He really should have smelt the blood in the water like a shark and then continued hunting. But he just kind of backed down. He kept backing up, playing it safe. And if I was Woodley, I mean, I know it's easy to say this, but if I was Woodley, bro, after that first punch, you just got to get in there, man. You just got to throw everything you can because he was out of it. He was not the same for the next 2 minutes. And then after that, gave him time to recover. He had a second win. Jake Paul came back, which I was surprised about his stamina too. That was pretty impressive. And then my highlight of this week, switching over from low light, is my Mac Jones prediction from a few episodes ago is looking a lot better now. I don't know if you remember, but when we were talking about the rookie quarterbacks, I said that Mac Jones is going to have the best career out of all 5. Well, I know there's more than 5, but the top 5 rookie quarterbacks in this draft. And now that Cam Newton's gone, that's looking a lot better. Better start to the career.
Yep. I was shocked that they outright released him.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I don't know like the semantics behind everything, but could they not have gotten draft picks for him?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Maybe like a 7th rounder, but Bill Belichick has a lot of respect for Cam Newton, which is one of the reasons why I was so shocked is because I thought everything I've heard Bill Belichick talking about Cam Newton is how much Bill loves Cam and how impressed he was with him all last year, battling through adversity, coming back again this year and trying to get a real better go at it when he's a little bit healthier and they have him some more weapons. So I really thought they were going to give him an honest shot for about 4 to 6 weeks until he inevitably wasn't very good again because let's face it, he's not very good anymore. But yeah, they just outright released him. I think there was a conversation that was in place between Cam and Bill where he was like, look, Mac Jones is our starter. You can either be the backup or we can release you. And he said, I guess he said he wanted to be released. I think that's how it went down.
That makes a bit more sense. Yeah, because I heard Belichick does have respect for Cam. Yeah, like you said. And even a few weeks ago, he was saying Cam Newton's our starter. Cam Newton's our starter. He kept emphasizing that. And then there was a time period where Cam had to miss a few days of practice because of a COVID protocol mishap. Like there's a miscommunication there. Something happened. And during those few days, Mac Jones was balling out in training camp. And especially I read reports that in a joint practice with the Giants, he really looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
And the locker room's high on him. It seems like everybody in the organization's high on him. So they're just going to ride with him.
Yeah, he went 35 of 40 one day on that week of joint practice with the Giants.
That's pretty damn good.
And that was when Cam Newton was out. And I think part of the reason why Cam Newton lost his starting job is because he didn't get vaccinated. Because when
teams are considering that.
Yeah.
Which is
Urban Meyer said that when it comes to guys on the bubble, he's looking at guys who are and are not vaccinated.
Yeah, for the 53-man roster cut.
Yeah, I can't say I blame teams because if that shit comes in and it ruins your season, like, you know, that just can't happen. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's 100% because he didn't get vaccinated, but like, that's when the final strides were made in Mac Jones taking the shot away from Cam Newton because it didn't happen because he didn't get vaccinated or like he lost the job. Mac Jones took this job away from Cam Newton.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, he played well all preseason. I mean, I know he didn't really get in a whole lot. He played the most of any New England quarterback. He went 36 for 52, 389 yards, a touchdown, and 0 interceptions. So that's a pretty solid stat line for a rookie in the preseason. And although the Patriots don't really have the greatest weapons at wide receiver, I feel like him and N'Keal Harry can do some damage. I think N'Keal Harry is one of those underrated guys that might pop off this year.
Oh, I'm done with N'Keal Harry.
Because of fantasy?
I have no hope. Yeah, there's just no, not N'Keal. Sorry.
Dude,
maybe Jacoby Myers. Maybe Jacoby Myers.
That's another name. Yeah, Jacoby Myers. Dude, they need to sign a big wide receiver.
Too.
Oh, I forget about Aguilar being there.
Who
yeah,
we drafted last week.
Yeah. The only thing is if Aguilar has his brick hands like he did in Philadelphia, it honestly amazed me how Aguilar kept his job after those like couple years where he just had an insane amount of drops.
Yeah, that was bad. It's only because he was a first-round draft pick. Yeah, because he kept his job that long.
Dude, but now, dude, there's a new era with Mac Jones as a starting quarterback. The AFC East alone, like Josh Allen, 25 years old. Tua, 23 years old. Zach Wilson and Mac are both rookies, 22 years old. So it's weird to think about it, but it's a whole new era for the division.
Josh Allen's the vet.
Yeah, Josh Allen is the vet of the group.
Yeah, I think it's new and exciting time to look at the AFC East, especially because it's all a lot of young guys who have a lot of potential. Week 1 actually is going to be Mac Jones versus Tua. So like roll tide, I guess. Week 1, that's pretty cool if you're a Bama fan.
I mean, shit. Even when they play, if they ever play Philadelphia throughout the season, I don't know their schedule exactly, but if they play Philadelphia, that's another Alabama matchup.
That's true, unless Gardner Minshew takes over because
Minshew Mania, bro, he's coming.
Minshew Mania. And then one thing I want to say about this is that I think Mac Jones is going to lead the Patriots to the playoffs this year.
This year to the playoffs?
Yeah.
I could totally see that. Their defense is still a solid unit, so I could totally see that happening.
And I'm not going to say they're going to win the division, but they're not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Would you long-term wise, do you think Mac Jones will ever win a Super Bowl?
I mean, he's got Bill Belichick as his head coach. There's no reason why I would say no. I wouldn't say, I don't think we know enough about him to definitively say that, because right now it's all promise. And,
that's true.
It's all, shine. Like, I mean, there's a time where we thought Blake Bortles was going to be really good because he had a really good preseason.
Yeah.
So we never know. Because I was kind of thinking about that with all these quarterbacks. Like, dang, like all these young guys have had really good preseasons. And I was kind of going back in my head and I was like, wait, every single fucking first round rookie quarterback has pretty much had a good preseason, looked good in preseason games. So a lot of it doesn't really mean anything. And we just have to wait till about halfway through this year until we know more. And even then, by the time halfway through his second year, before we actually know if this dude's the real deal.
You're right. It is all speculation. It's hard to make anything, but I mean, that's half the fun of it, with the
That's half the fun.
Yeah.
I would say yes, because Bill Belichick's his head coach.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say the same thing. Like, I think it's just the perfect system to be drafted in for him. He's literally, I know you hate the baby goat versus goat debate, but I mean, if we're talking about like Tom Brady and him, very similar, except for the first round versus sixth round aspect. I mean, they both have those super unathletic looking training camp photos or combine photos and everything. Mac Jones really isn't the type of person you would look at and say, yep, that's an NFL quarterback, or yep, that's a D1 athlete, but still is super talented. He reads the field well, very good at decision making so far in his career, at least. So I'm not going to say he's the next Tom Brady whatsoever, but offensively, it's a perfect fit. And I think that, like you said, Bill Belichick, they're definitely going to win a Super Bowl in the next decade, probably at some point.
Yeah. Well, Bill is approaching 70, so maybe not the next. Well, unless Josh McDaniels takes over and is actually a good head coach with New England, which I think would be the likely next step for New England. Yeah, I mean, future is bright again in New England after one bleak year. So woe is Pats fans. Good for them.
Yeah. They suffered for a half a year, basically.
They had one mediocre year, and they get back to where I think they're probably going to be really good again. So,
and their mediocre year wasn't even that bad. It was just Cam Newton.
I don't know. That was tough to watch. Some of those offenses were really tough to watch.
Yeah, they had a lot of low-scoring games last year.
And watching Tom Brady win a Super Bowl, but I think they were happy about that, right?
I don't even know. I'm sure Bill Belichick was like happy for him and whatnot, but
yeah, I think a lot of Pats fans were happy for him.
Because I mean, he really did it. Like, he proved that he wasn't a system quarterback and whatnot. Like, literally at 1 year after leaving the team. So crazy. Overall, though, to wrap it up, do you think this was the right move by the Patriots to release him?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just really surprised that they went out and released him and didn't start him for 4 or 5 games, because that's what I thought was really going to happen, is that they're going to give him another shot, just because everything you heard about him again was that they loved him, but they went ahead and released him. Apparently, he's talking to Dallas right now to be Dak's backup, which I would love.
I have heard that, to be the backup there. I wonder how cheap they could get him, though. I'm going to disagree, though. I think this was not the right move. As bad as Cam Newton is, and as much as he should not be the Patriots starting quarterback, he's a veteran. He's a former MVP. I think having him in the locker room would have helped Mac Jones a lot whenever it comes time to needing somebody, per se. Also would have given them a better backup option if Mac Jones turns out to be dog shit. The only thing, though, is the semantics of, like, Cam Newton being happy, which I doubt he would have been okay with being the backup. So in that regards, I get why you released him, but I just think he would have been a luxury as a backup, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and if you look at it too, Cam and Mac are definitely very different players. So if Mac went down, they would have to change their offense.
That is true. That is true.
So that's kind of why I would really like for Cam to come to Dallas, because Cam is mobile like Dak and could, offense wouldn't really, wouldn't miss as much of a beat, So I think that's went some into that. Apparently, I thought Brian Hoyer was going to be their backup. Apparently, they released him today too.
Dude, Brian Hoyer's still playing, bro?
Yeah, right.
How old is that guy?
God, he's got to be mid-30s. I don't know. He keeps a low profile being New England's backup for a while now. He played in that one game last year against the Chiefs when Cam had COVID.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember that. He's just one of those guys I always forget about. I don't know.
Yeah.
But his name has been thrown around forever. It's almost like he's just been in the league my entire life.
Hoyer the Destroyer.
The GOAT. No, but wait, what were you about to say?
No, I was just eye rolling at your GOAT.
Oh, we got a comment from Sports Dude Hines Show. Hey, what's up, bro? He's in our podcast fantasy league too. So I don't know what week we play you, but we're coming, so watch out. No, but in other football news, though, this IMG Academy, this is completely different than NFL. It's high school football, switch gears a little bit, but IMG Academy versus Bishop Sycamore. Did you hear about this game?
Yeah,
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, so for those that don't know, IMG Academy is probably the most elite football program in all of high school sports. If you go there, you're guaranteed to go D1, basically. They're not even an academic school at this point. They're just an athletic academy. But anyway, so IMG is insane at football. They had an ESPN primetime game against Bishop Sycamore, who was supposedly a school from Ohio. So it would be Florida versus Ohio on ESPN. And they had a bunch of D1 recruits, apparently. But it was literally a fake school. Bishop Sycamore does not exist. I don't know how this happened, but it got through so many layers of people at ESPN to get approved. And this shit still happened.
Yeah. Also, tweet of the day is I saw somebody tweet, breaking news, Cam Newton signs 2-year deal with Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah, dude.
No, this is wild. I don't understand why this happened. I guess because kind of like in a similar situation, like big Power 5 schools will pay smaller schools to get their ass kicked. Yeah. So maybe this was like a type of fraud situation where they would take big checks from schools like IMG Academy because they played a different big-time school in Ohio like 2 days before.
Yeah, literally like back-to-back, which is super illegal everywhere.
Yeah. So like they just take those game checks and just, I don't know, as a form of fraud to make money, which doesn't make much sense to me still because like uniforms and helmets and all the equipment is like super expensive. But I wouldn't be surprised if that shit ended up being like stolen somehow. I don't know. This whole thing is like whack. I can't wait for the 30 for 30.
Yeah, exactly, dude. The more time goes on, the more we keep hearing about it. Like, so obviously the school was fake. Their website had no information about academics at all. It just kind of looked like a recruiting portal for their athletes. Their head coach, Roy Johnson, has warrants out for his arrest for fraudulent activity. And that came from paying for hotel rooms for the team that he ended up not actually paying for, something like that. So they've been doing this for a while, Bishop Sycamore. This isn't like their first game ever. And also we found out too that the team wasn't even high school athletes. They were literally 22 to 30-year-old men who were JUCO dropouts just playing football. And they got their ass kicked 58-0. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's wild. I just seriously don't understand how something like this could happen.
Exactly. Like on ESPN on prime time, the announcers, there are a few clips too where one of the players would go down injured and the play-by-play broadcaster was like, well, we don't have a number 54 here on our roster list. And there was like another moment where they were talking about the quarterback and were saying, well, the quarterback claims to have a D1 offer to Louisiana Monroe, but according to our records, we cannot confirm that. Like they were basically during the game is when everybody realized, oh shit, like this is not right. But it wasn't until during the actual broadcast that it didn't click for anybody.
I can't imagine what a feeling that would be, just be in the broadcast booth and be like, wait, this is not adding up.
Yeah, like what do you say about these athletes that just aren't real?
just kind of have to go along with it just for the sake of the broadcast. But like, I would go up to my boss. I would have just gone up to my boss immediately after and just be like, "Hey, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
What are these notes y'all gave me?
Like, are you trying to get me fired right now?"
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure half the information they were given was probably incorrect. I mean, half the players on their roster list were missing or not even listed. So it's just a whole mess, bro. I don't understand how this happens.
No,
We need to see.
it's
I hope we keep seeing the Bishop Sycamore jokes, though. I
Oh,
hope
they're
this
gonna
just
be
turns
coming.
into a long running meme.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be one for the books. All-time meme already.
Yeah, and like their physical school address literally was just a building. Like it wasn't actually a school. It was just a random building out in Ohio. I think we just lost Elijah for a second, but he's gonna pop in right now, back again. But yeah, their school building was literally just a random athletic complex in Ohio. Just a singular building that looked like a gym.
Yeah.
Like,
it was sketch.
I just don't understand, bro, how nobody thought to even look. I'm gonna Google them and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm really excited to like see what kind of money they're making off of this fraud, because like there'd be no way that guys just want to relive the glory days, just get beat up by high schoolers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do they gain from this? That's what I want to know.
It's got to be some like, because like I said, like I guess high schools do this too. Big time high schools like IMG will pay smaller schools just to come in and play for them. Like TCU does it all the time. I mean, all the schools do.
I think they actually ended up making money. They got paid by ESPN, which that makes sense. For the rights to broadcast the game, they made money from ESPN. That makes a lot of sense.
Gotcha.
We got a comment that says, "I heard Manti Te'o's girlfriend is the Bishop Sycamore cheerleader." That's fucking hilarious.
I like that.
I haven't heard a Manti Te'o's girlfriend joke in a long time. That was a good refresher. Yeah, but this was the weirdest and most random, obscure news in sports that I've heard in a long time.
I don't think it beats J.R. Smith becoming a college golfer, though.
That I was just about to say, it's like right on par, no pun intended, with J.R. Smith golfing.
Yeah. I don't this is hilarious, but it doesn't beat J.R. Smith golfing. For me, nothing, it just makes me happy every time I think about it.
Dude, I can't wait to see like an overly edited montage of J.R. Smith with like, random flashing lights and like the bass drop, just his it's just gonna be hilarious.
Yep.
All right, now that we're talking about colleges, let's go ahead and get into our college football tier list. College football is right around the corner. It actually just started already last week, but the official week 1 is this weekend. Last week was considered week 0. There were only a few major FBS programs playing, but the rest were low tier FCS teams. So what we're going to do now is kind of how we did with NFL fan bases. We're going to be making a tier list of all of the major Division I FBS football programs and putting them in a tier list. A whole bunch of factors are going to go into this: fan base, history, overall team attitude per se, the stigmas around it, everything like that. We're going to combine a bunch of factors and bring you a tier list. So we might be a little bit biased as TCU fans, but we'll see how it goes. All right, let's pull this up. Also, if you're listening to the audio version, again, it's time to, watch that live version so you can see the visual of what we're creating.
Yep.
All right, tier list, here we go. All right, so it has every single FBS team on it, as you can see, and clearly that is way too many, and we don't know about all of them. So what we're going to do is just go through the major Power 5 national programs, kind of the top 25 type deal. So first one's first is going to be Alabama. I think we can skip Akron, skip Air Force. Alabama. How are we feeling about Alabama?
Fuck Bama.
Fuck Bama.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. It's like I feel like I don't hate them, but I hate them because they're so good.
They're kind of annoying. I'm just gonna say it. I would rather hate them than like them. And plus, you have to factor in all the fair weather football Alabama fans that either like also aren't from Alabama and never went to school there or college for that matter. And I don't like those people. So
I don't like college football fans like that in general. Like people, it's a big deal in Arkansas and Oklahoma, especially. People that just live in the state and never attended the university at all are just diehard fans because that's their state university.
You can live in the state. I'll give you a free pass for that. Because sometimes like OU, Arkansas, places like Nebraska, like that's all they got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like football-wise, they don't have a professional team. But I mean,
like
still, it's kind of weird to like dedicate such loyalty to something you never had a relation to. I don't know.
It's geographic thing. So, because like here in Austin, people don't really care about the NFL because UT's right here.
I mean, UT is the NFL team there, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. But there's a lot of people that have no relationship to the state of Alabama, but are diehard Alabama football fans, and they litter this nation, and they're awful. So for that, I'm going to say,
I would say pretty shitty. I don't consider them the scum of the earth.
Scum. Okay, I can get down with that.
Not like the worst of the worst. We may revisit that depending on how the other teams go. All right, Appalachian State, they're a little bit small.
ASU.
ASU, honestly, I would put them up there just because they would be so much fucking fun to tailgate with.
True.
Like an ASU tailgate would be crazy.
They do party. They do party
a lot. I think. See, but they're not a class act. I'm gonna say, would you agree? Would grab a beer with.
Would grab a beer with. That's that's literally
the perfect category.
Same thing with Arizona.
All right. Yep. Stick them in there. Would grab a beer with. I like it.
Auburn. I don't like Auburn.
I don't either.
I think they're pretty shitty.
I agree. Right. Pretty shitty too. Ball State. We can skip. Army. Let's. I think we could throw Army in there too.
Best of the best.
I was just about to say, bro, Army fans are fucking awesome, dude.
We can't put them anywhere else, especially right now. I'm not trying to be an Instagram story.
Shout out the troops. All right.
Next up, Baylor.
I think we know how we both feel about this.
Yeah, they're scum of the earth.
Scum of the fucking earth. If you don't know about, go ahead.
They talk shit about us so much, like they say that we're like unclassy and how like we say Texas Christian University, but we don't like do Christian stuff because Baylor actually does a shit ton of like you have to go to chapel if you go to Baylor. Also, win or lose with this rivalry, at least we don't live in Waco because they're jealous that we have Fort Worth.
Dude, Waco is nothing but a glorified truck stop, bro.
Okay. Yes, because every time I have to drive through Waco, every time I go back home, back between Austin and Fort Worth, on both ends of the city, it tells you how long it takes to get through the city. Because of one, how bad the traffic is, and two, everyone knows you're just driving through to get to Austin or go back to Fort Worth.
That's literally what it's for, yeah. It's just a stopping point, bro. I could not imagine living there. Plus, yeah, exactly. Like you said, they always talk shit about TCU fans being classy, but they talk the most shit, bro. They always bring up, it's 61-58, as if we haven't won like 4 out of the last 6 meetings. Like, it's just, I don't know. I hate them. Scum of the earth.
Scum of the earth.
Next up, I think, do you think Boise's big enough?
I mean, kind of, yeah. I don't really have much of an opinion about them. Like, I like Boise. Like, I like their blue field.
I like their blue field, but
I like Boise, the town.
So, I don't know much about them.
I've been to Boise once. It was really cool.
I just know TCU had a little rivalry back in like the 2010, 2011 era.
Yeah, well, it's because they kicked our ass in the Fiesta Bowl.
Well, they didn't kick our ass. I was at that game. They won by 7, but it was not a fun game.
It was a very disappointing loss.
It was very disappointing, yeah.
So I used to hate them, but then I got over that. And now I think they're just cool because they're always good. And they have a lot of NFL talent.
I'll put them at neutral. Yeah. That's a good spot for them. I think BYU probably next up. The Mormons, baby. You said what?
Mormons suck.
I mean, yeah.
They're weird as fuck, dude. Like, the Book of Mormon. One time, my dad took me to a Mormon church, and it was like the weirdest like culture experience I think I've ever had. Like we were sitting down in like Sunday school, and they were like, "What is this from?" And then like kids were like, "It's from the Book of Mormon. It's from the Book of Mormon." I was like, "What the fuck is the Book of Mormon?" And it's basically all about how like the Earth started in America or some shit, and that like black people are demons or something. I don't know. Like dark skin is like I don't know. It's weird.
You basically just summed up the entire religion of Mormon or whatever.
But that's
I
what you
don't
get at
even know how to word
BYU.
it.
So
Yeah.
no.
Well, okay, they're not bad people, but like it's just weird. I mean, they do great things. Like at BYU, you have to do like a whole service project, and like if you attend BYU, you have to go on a mission trip for like a few months and like help out the lesser fortunate. So I mean, they do good things. So I can't put them in like scum of the earth or anything.
I mean,
pretty shitty.
Pretty shitty just because they're Mormons.
Dude, now we're gonna end up on an Instagram story for being fucking. I don't know what's the.
Nah, it's woke to hate on Christianity, so we're chill.
Yeah, it's woke, bro. Yeah, speaking of that, TCU apparently debated removing the prayer from the game, the pregame, to try and get in the Pac-12 because they don't associate with religion at all.
Yeah.
All right, next up is California.
Neutral.
Yeah, I was just about to say I really don't have any opinion on them. They've kind of been slightly irrelevant for our lifetime as a football program.
Yeah.
All right, next up, I'd probably I'd say Cincinnati's big enough.
Yeah, I don't know. No. I don't know. I don't think so.
We can skip them.
Let's skip.
Clemson for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Solid class act.
I was gonna say the exact same thing because they had a time period where they were really shitty, and now they're the best of the best. And I don't think I've ever really experienced any conversation with a Clemson fan that was too egotistical.
No, they're really happy to be here.
Yeah, exactly. They're just happy to be good. Like they don't expect it like Alabama fans and everything. All right, next up, I think we should put Coastal Carolina in there in fucking best of the best just because their fans are electric, bro.
Okay.
They're like the rednecks that I don't even know, bro. I saw a bunch of funny videos last year of their tailgates and everything. Their fan base is electric because, I mean, they've always sucked. And then last year they were a top 10 team at the end of the year.
CSU, Colorado State, we can skip. I don't really.
Yeah.
But
CU Boulder, though.
I would grab a beer with.
I was just about to say Boulder. Yeah, you got to grab a beer with them.
Boulder's cool. Boulder's a cool place.
I would want to study to live in Boulder, bro. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I applied, didn't get in.
I might apply there for grad school. I don't know.
That would be sick. That would be sick.
Bro.
Boulder's a super cool place. One of my good buddies at TCU is from Boulder. I visited him. It was really cool.
All right, next up. In terms of football, bro, Duke is really irrelevant. So
should we kind of factor in the basketball programs for some of these teams?
I don't know. I mean, if we're talking, because this is college football themed, you know.
Oh, that's true.
College football week.
Yeah. Duke football, like neutral, I guess. Like we don't.
Respect for staying loyal. I mean, they've never.
Respect for showing up to the football games. Honestly, that's probably where they should be. Because it's like, how are you not thinking about basketball right now? And you're at a Duke football game. That's like Kansas. Like if you show up to a Kansas football game, it's like, are you just like, do you bleed Kansas everything? Like, why are you here at this football game right now? Like, should you be like watching tape for the next basketball season?
Yeah, Kansas gets a solid 1 win a season, and that's a W for them. All right, next up, we can skip ECU, skip Eastern Michigan. Florida State's probably the next big one.
Ooh,
Florida State.
Florida State's kind of on the lower tiers.
Yeah, I don't know where to put them, honestly. I'll leave this one up to you.
I kind of want to say they're scum, but I don't have enough reason to. So for that, I would say they're pretty shitty.
Pretty shitty. Okay, I do love the one of the most undefeated, coolest Yeah, the tomahawk chop, bro. It's
The
so
fucking
cool, bro.
the dude placing the spear down.
Yes, they
I
have a
haven't
lot of
seen
really
that.
cool traditions.
Yeah, it was cool seeing that when Jameis Winston was there.
I
That
went
was, like,
to
the last time they were relevant.
I went to a Georgia Tech game. My brother went to Georgia Tech, so I went to a Georgia Tech FSU game a few years ago. It was the blocked field goal game, if you remember that at all. They blocked a last-second field goal, ran it back for a touchdown to break their undefeated streak. It was crazy, but man, even at away games, bro, FSU fans are just in rhythm, just
I'm sure that can get annoying. I think we placed him properly.
It does get annoying, but at the same time, it's almost like
It's kind of cool.
you're just in awe. Like, wow, like this is really coordinated. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right. Next up, their rival from across the state, Florida.
I'm not really sure. They haven't been really relevant.
I think I'd probably put him in, would grab a beer with.
Okay.
I think Florida's a fun team.
Yeah.
The Swamp, bro.
I like their uniforms. I like Dan Mullins.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could Gator Shop. So I could put him in, grab a beer with.
All right. Next up, Georgia Tech.
I'm gonna leave that solely up to you.
Yeah. See, now I feel like I got a lot of pressure because I bet my brother's gonna watch this and judge me based on where I put Georgia Tech. All right. So, if this is up to me, actually, okay. So with my experience of Georgia Tech as a football program and their fan base, when they're winning, they like to show that they're winning, and when they're losing, they like to show that the ACC is better than it really is. So those aren't good signs, but at the same time, they're in terms of fans, like there's no toxic GT fans. I don't think.
I want to weigh in a little bit too. When they were doing the whole triple option thing, I got really sick of hearing about how they only run the triple option.
Yeah, they finally got over that though. That was just because their old coach Paul Johnson loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool to watch for like a couple times, but then like you kind of realize like, oh, they're doing this the entire time.
Yeah,
every
kind of like Army.
Okay.
Now they're away from that though. Now I think they're heading into their
they're
third
doing
year.
something different.
Yeah, third year in the new offense. Maybe the fourth year by now. That's tough. That's tough. Where would you? Is this up to me?
I'm kind of neutral on them, honestly. Like
neutral.
They don't really do anything.
Yeah, they really. Yeah, I'll stick them in neutral. All right.
I know some people from Atlanta that could probably weigh in better, but they're just not.
I love Atlanta as a city, though. I love Atlanta as a city.
Yep. Georgia. So
I would say scum of the earth. I hate Georgia.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to stop you. They're SEC, so like, I'm sure it's not that far of a stretch.
I think
honestly, Auburn's pretty scum of the earth too.
Yeah, honestly, I would.
Can we move them?
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to moving them.
Because Auburn is always like, oh, we're the best school in Alabama. And that's like, okay, that's like being the best Major League Soccer team. Nobody really gives a fuck, and it's not that hard.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the class act to Alabama. It's like
Georgia's always kind of, I don't know. They just, like you said, they're an SEC team. They think they're the shit because of it. They always think they're gonna beat Bama every year. I don't know. I'm kind of fed up with Georgia. All right, next up, Hawaii. No.
Nah.
Illinois, maybe.
Nah.
Let's go to Iowa State for football.
Okay, yeah. Maybe IU, but I don't really have an opinion of them to put them anywhere. I just like Penix, so nah.
Yeah, Penix, and they have their receiver Freifogel this year. Penix Jr. to Freifogel is going to be one of the best duos in college football. They went off last year. And
their coach seems just like a really cool guy.
Let's put Indiana would grab a beer with. Fuck it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to like, is Indiana a party school though? Like, that's kind of like, do they deserve to be next to both the Arizona schools, CU and Florida?
That's true though. That's
they
true.
do not.
Actually, I'm gonna take them out.
Yeah, take them out.
All right, Iowa State though. I would actually consider Iowa State one of the best, probably. I think their fans are really nice. I have a lot more experience with them being a Big 12 fan, so their fans are always really nice, respectful about everything. They kind of climbed from the gutter as a football program recently. They've kind of risen to the top. Now they're one of the favorites for the Big 12 even. So
I'd put them as class act.
Actually, yeah, class act. They are
Class
class act,
more where
yeah.
they deserve. But the Hawkeyes are best of
Iowa?
the best.
Really?
The wave.
I was just about to say, yeah, that is really fucking cool.
I had a roommate who was a Hawkeye fan. He was pretty cool, and I met his parents who were Hawkeyes, and they were really nice people. So,
no, I think that
sure.
hospital wave, that solely puts them in the best of the best.
Yep, that's top tier.
One of the coolest traditions ever in college football. All right, next up, both Kansas State and Kansas. So, Kansas State, I'm pretty neutral on them.
Yeah, same here.
All right, let's slap them in there. And then Kansas, I think respect for going to games.
Respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're there, like, okay, that's cool. Kentucky
Kansas first. Kentucky's gotten a lot better as a football program recently. Like lot better.
That's true, but they've still kind of flown under the radar a lot.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of one of those underrated teams. In what sense do you mean flown under the radar? Like underrated, or they're kind of quiet?
Oh, a little bit of both. Like they're kind of quiet. Like it's still the focus on them, and the media is always going to be for their basketball team. And a lot of times when teams have really good basketball teams, they kind of don't pay attention to their football team, even though when they are a little better. So like I really just don't know all that much about Kentucky. I didn't watch them play much last year either, but I do know that they were a lot better.
I think I'd stick them in neutral.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have climbed a bit, and I think if they got better, like as a team, I would put them in one of the higher tiers. Just because like I would say respect for going to games a few years ago, but they do seem to have put more of a focus on the football program a bit. They're always going to be a basketball school, like that's no question, but their football program has definitely improved a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, skip these. Louisville or LSU? Probably LSU. We can probably skip Louisville. Yeah.
I like LSU.
Yeah, I like their game day atmosphere. Death Valley's pretty sick.
I either would grab a beer with or like class act. Would know if they're a class act. So maybe grab a beer with.
I'd probably grab a beer with because LSU is also a pretty fun party school.
Oh, I mean, not too far from NOLA.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Next up, we can skip that probably. The U.
The U, scum of the earth.
The U, yeah. We don't even need to think about it, bro. I think, ironically, though, the U is back this year. I think they're going to do good.
Really?
Yeah, okay. I think they're going to have a 10-win season.
Okay.
The only thing is they play Alabama week 1, so not much room for error there.
So Sparty?
Yeah, next up, Sparty.
Michigan State. I really don't have much of an opinion on them.
Yeah, me neither.
I liked them when they were good. I mean, we could just put them in neutral, kind of.
Neutral, yeah, I agree. And then Michigan, I would probably put them on the lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah, they're definitely on the lower end. Probably, I'd say they're pretty shitty. Shitty. They're not scum, but like they're definitely annoying.
Yeah, especially after, bro, like the Jim Harbaugh era started again, bro, and then they've just been completely dog shit. Ohio State hate week and everything, yet they can never beat them. Like, I don't know, grow up.
I also kind of grew up with a Michigan cheerleader, and she just would never stop talking about how hard it was to get into Michigan.
Well, I mean, it's a great school, yeah.
Yeah, but it was just kind of annoying. And now all she talks about is how she dated the goalie for the Michigan hockey team.
I bet their hockey team's cold, though, up in Michigan.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good.
All right. So, yeah, pretty shitty's a good spot for them. All right, next up would be I'd consider Minnesota up there.
Yeah, Minnesota's cool. They had that one remember that one head coach ate ice cream when it was snowing?
Yeah, and it was row the boat and everything. I forgot what his name was. Was it Fleck? PJ Fleck?
I think.
I could be wrong.
That sounds kind of right.
I could be
Yeah.
wrong. But yeah, they had a great culture for the team whenever they were one of the top 10 teams for a few weeks a couple years ago. Would you say grab a beer with or class act?
Class act.
Yeah, I agree. Either one of those works.
People from Minnesota are just nice in general, though. If they're not,
Yeah, that Midwestern hospitality. It's a little bit different than Southern hospitality, but they're just nice.
No, I like the Midwesterners. It's a good region of the country.
All righty, next up, Mississippi State. So what are you gonna say?
I like them mostly because of Dak.
I liked them until a bunch of shit started coming out with like the players versus the fans in regards to social issues, like the Black Lives Matter stuff, and like the Mississippi flag has like like a somewhat racist reference on it, and like one of the players was like, I don't want to play with this flag, and the whole fans like turned on him basically and were like, fuck you, leave the team then, yada yada. So that was interesting to see. I don't know there. Where would you have ranked him?
Like grab a beer with, but I forgot about all that. So like if you want to put him somewhere else, I'm not gonna argue.
I don't know. That's tough. This is tough, bro. Like whenever you really get into it, like I'm gonna put him in pretty shitty.
Yeah. Mizzou, like, neutral.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have much on them either.
There's some of these we should start skipping over some of these Power 5 conferences too, because it's just kind of like Navy.
Best of the best. I mean,
respect the troops. Respect the troops.
Respect the troops. Oh wait, I gotta scroll up. Army, Navy.
Yep. Go down. Again.
Oh yeah. What's next? We can skip NC State. Nebraska.
The Cornhuskers, scum, dude.
Scum, yeah.
They are pretty annoying.
I feel bad for them at this point, though, bro. Scott Frost has just taken the program like an avalanche, bro. It was already going downhill, but now it's just snowballing.
Let's see.
We can skip these. UNC, maybe?
I like UNC. They're up there.
I'd say class act or grab a beer with.
Yeah, either or. I'm down for.
I'll put them in class act. I like UNC fans.
I do too. Their colors too are just.
Oh, dude, the Tar Heel blue is amazing. It looks so good on uniforms, bro.
Yep, I love their unis.
All right, next up, let's skip that. Notre Dame and Ohio State. All right, these are two big boys.
When you go to Northwestern, put them at pretty shitty because I'm so tired just because they have such a good journalism school. All the people in the media won't shut the fuck up about Northwestern.
Dude, there's probably so many like ESPN reporters and stuff that went to Northwestern.
There's a lot. Like Greeny.
Yeah, they're just a journalism factory, bro.
Like who was it? Trevor Siemian when he played for the Broncos. They're like, we have a Northwestern quarterback playing in the NFL. This is the media circus around that was awful.
I can understand that, yeah. All right, Notre Dame. I would put them in scum of the earth.
Yeah,
because they're just constantly overrated, bro. All they do is rely on their history, and they're so stubborn when it comes to joining a conference. They have to be independent. Oh, because they're so much fucking better than us. So fuck you, Notre Dame. Anyway, all right, Ohio State now.
Fuck Ohio State.
Fuck Ohio State. I'm down for either shitty or scum of the earth. Either one.
Yeah, either or. Do they?
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them, bro. Shit, scum of the earth. All right. What were you about to ask? Do they what?
No, I just remember that one time when TCU played Ohio State. That would have been your freshman year.
Yeah.
They were dickheads about it.
They were dickheads. My cousins go to Ohio State, though. So, Michael Clare, if you're watching this, sorry about you.
OSU, Oklahoma State.
I actually don't mind Oklahoma State. I've been to a few games there, and I really love the atmosphere. Their stadium's really cool. Their traditions are cool. Their fans aren't dickheads.
And they party.
Yeah.
I'd grab a beer with.
Yeah, I agree. Gotta scroll up.
All
right. Oklahoma now.
Pretty shitty.
Yeah, I wouldn't put them in scum of the earth, but yeah, I would agree pretty shitty. All right. Ole Miss.
I don't
They're
know.
probably big enough to keep in there.
Yeah, but we got to put them somewhere. I kind of like Ole Miss, like watching them. I just don't know anything about them. I'd grab a beer with Ole Miss. We could put them up there too.
Yeah, I
Because Ole
agree with
Miss is a
that.
huge party school because of like the Grove. I almost went there. I actually applied when I was transferring out of my freshman year. I applied only to TCU and Ole Miss. Then I decided TCU. So
Good
cool
choice.
place.
Good choice. Yeah, Ole Miss is a cool school.
It
All
is.
right.
It is. Plus their unis are.
Let's skip OSU and just go with Oregon.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I don't know. This is like harder. Every time we do one of these, it's harder than I think it'll be.
Yeah. Well, plus this is just so much more than an NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
Yeah, it is a lot more to think about.
Oregon, like low key, kind of sucks. Like the people who are there are just pretty sus.
So you'd put pretty shitty?
I mean, but like those people don't care about football. Those the ones that I don't like.
Oh, okay.
So like I guess neutral. Like they were cool. Like yeah. I like they don't
If
really
we take
go one
into
way or
account
the other.
everything, like their uniforms, their game atmosphere, all that kind of stuff, or it's pretty sick.
It's pretty sick, yeah. The school itself, yeah. But like I don't think they like are a solid class act, but I also wouldn't like grab a beer with because they're not like a party school.
Yeah, I'll leave them in neutral. All right, next up, let's see any big ones. Penn State. Penn State's a big one. Got it. Oh, I think Penn State's probably best of the best, honestly.
Really?
Just strictly because of their whiteout games, and dude, they sell out every fucking game. 100,000 people.
Okay.
Well, you seem surprised. What were you gonna say?
I don't know. I don't really know much about like Penn State's fan base, but the whiteout game is sick. It's one of the coolest things about college football. So yeah, I'll fuck with you.
I fuck with you.
I'm a fuck with you.
I'm a fuck with you. All right. What's next? We're already down to the P's. It seems like we're done, but there's still so many more. Fuck.
Purdue, irrelevant.
Purdue, yeah, relevant.
SMU, scum of the earth.
Yep. I don't even have to talk about it. You
Dallas
already know.
Sucks. Dallas is the worst
Fort
city
Worth gang.
in Texas besides Lubbock.
Lubbock takes the cake, yeah.
Lubbock takes the cake.
It's so boring.
Stanford is chill, I guess. Like, but I wouldn't grab a beer with them because they're so much smarter than I am.
Yeah, it would be intimidating.
So for that,
I don't know if like
yeah. I don't know if the school body like cares as much about the football program though. Like they're too busy like trying to not flunk out.
Yeah, you're right. I think they do sell out a decent amount of games. Their stadium does pretty well. It's not like, an atmosphere to remember, one of the hardest places to play, but it's a neat place. I'll put them up there too because of their band. I don't know if you've seen Stanford's band is like the coolest, bro. They have no rules, no uniform. They just literally run out and do whatever, bro. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's wacky.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Next up, we can probably skip Syracuse.
Okay.
Yeah. TCU, baby.
All right. I'm just gonna say this about us.
Oh God.
I think we're pretty shitty, dude.
No.
I think we're pretty fucking toxic, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Cause like think about like all the California kids who don't show up to our games. I don't think we're the best. I think we kind of suck as a fan base overall. Dude, we're pretty cocky because like of Andy Dalton and LT, and like I don't think we deserve to be up with like grab a beer with because we do like to party.
Well, see, my thing though too is like overall though we went from being, as Ohio State called us, the little sisters of the poor in the Mountain West in the shitty conference, to now Gary Patterson has climbed us into the Big 12. We're one of the relevant programs again. We're always in the conversation. You're right. We do we do struggle to sell out games sometimes. And I feel like that's partially because of the weather in Texas.
It is pretty freaking hot.
But like whenever we had 10-win seasons, the games were crazy. So maybe maybe there's a bit of fair weather fans.
I think we're pretty shitty, dude.
Dude, I don't know if I can put us in pretty shitty though, bro.
We have to be honest, dude. We have to use our journalistic integrity.
Oh, journalistic integrity, fucking.
And we can't be super biased because we already have been biased on this list with Baylor and SMU. But those people deserve to be there.
I was about to say, I mean, even bias aside, there's still,
especially Baylor.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think we kind of suck overall.
Dude,
I feel like we always get into spats too. Like I always hear about friends getting into fights as TCU kids.
There's a decent amount of fights at the stadium.
We get pretty shit talky. So I just don't think we deserve to be.
Yeah, all right,
up there. I just don't. I'm sorry. I hate to, maybe if you really didn't want to, we could grab a beer with because we do like to have fun. But
I don't know, bro. That's tough. I don't know what to do right now.
I'm just gonna call it like it is. Like I love TCU. I loved going to school there. But as a fan base overall, I'm gonna look at us and we're pretty shitty. Like every time a ref yells a bad call, which is funny, and I love that we do this, but we do fuck you and yell all the obscenities and like.
Well, but I feel like all college,
all
student sections do that. Like the student sections do that.
That's true. But I just think overall, like,
a little shitty.
We're kind of shitty. We're a little shitty.
All right, we'll maybe revisit that at the end.
Okay.
All right, next up, Tennessee. I think Tennessee's pretty shitty. I hate their fan base.
Yeah. A&M, best of the best.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Bro, I went to a game day there. Everyone is so cool. They treat the visiting team with such respect too, because every time they look at them, it's weird because it's a cult. They look at them and they just go, "Welcome to Aggieland," and give them a thumbs up. And like, I don't know. Their game day experience is super culty. It's super weird, but it's also super dope. So like, they're best of the best, man.
Dude, that's so painful though. Like, I hate A&M.
That's calling it like I see it.
I mean, you're right though. Their game day experience is one of the best in the country. Their game atmospheres is one of the best. Yeah, I would. Yeah. I don't want to put them there, but they like for the same reason Penn State is up there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, Texas Tech.
Scum.
I was about to say either scum or shitty.
Yep.
UT. Scum. Everybody should know why, bro. The SEC. I mean, I know we didn't put Oklahoma in the scum of the earth, but this whole move to the SEC is orchestrated by Texas.
Yeah,
they are the bad guys in this situation.
Yep.
So yeah, fuck Texas, bro.
UCF,
bro. I might put them in best of the best.
Yeah, the whole national title thing is pretty funny.
It is, dude. And have you seen their stadium is nicknamed the Bounce House because like structurally it's designed to give whenever the stadium is full, so it literally bounces whenever people are jumping up and down.
You know that UCF is the biggest school in the country, 70,000 plus.
Second. Arizona State's the biggest.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, UCF was my third option. I applied there.
Okay. I
know. It was between Syracuse, TCU, and UCF.
A&M is up there too. A&M's like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, A&M is even though it is $70K now too. Yeah.
Yeah, A&M's huge. Anyway.
All right, we got. We can skip those. UCLA. I put him at neutral probably.
Yeah.
All right.
USC.
I would say scum.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what just because. Yeah. There again, they are very similar to Notre Dame to me, except for the whole independent and conference thing. They're just always overrated by the media, and they glorify it. They glorify their history over everything. So yeah, they're scum. There's not many big ones left. Vandy, respect for going to games.
West Virginia, bro. Like I love West Virginia.
West Virginia, yeah. I would probably put them in Would Grab a Beer with or Class Act. West Virginia would be a fun place. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's such a huge party school.
We skipped Virginia Tech and Virginia here though.
Oh shit.
Those are probably big enough.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd put them.
Or I would. Well, we don't have to include Virginia actually, but VT is probably big enough football program.
I'd say neutral.
Yeah, me too. Just because I don't even know where to stick them.
Yeah.
All right. Washington State. I'd say Washington State is either a class act or best of the best, strictly because they have had somebody with a Washington State flag at every college game day for a fucking decade now.
True.
Like-
Yeah. Put them at class act.
Yeah, bro. Their fan base is dedicated, and they're never even that good.
And Minshew went there.
Yeah, exactly. He was a legend at Washington State.
Yep.
All right.
100%.
Then Washington.
Oh,
Neutral.
neutral.
Yeah, they're big enough. And then probably two more. I'd say Wisconsin and Utah, and then we're probably
Yeah,
done.
Wisconsin. I'd grab a beer with. That
Yeah.
Madison is a fun place.
Yeah, dude. Camp
Uh,
Randall would be a sick stadium to be
I've
at.
never been personally, but I've had friends that I know people who've been there, and they talk it big. They talk it up, how cool it is. All right, and then Utah. Oh,
I don't know, honestly. I mean,
uh,
we're talking about Mormons. They're still probably Mormons.
yeah, it is the Holy War, but I'd say neutral. Honestly,
Yeah. don't know.
I
don't
like
really have-
Utah though.
I don't really have much of an opinion on them. All right. Is there anybody we missed? Here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so we can see all the teams. All right. So, Ball State, Central Michigan. I don't really see any major football programs in here that we missed.
No, I don't either. All right, I think that's our tier list.
Yeah, that is our tier list. All right. Well,
That was a
you guys
slog.
can. It was what?
That was a slog. We had to go through a shit ton of things.
Yeah, I honestly didn't really think we would go through that many, but it kind of just.
It just
I don't know. It
happened.
happened. I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like the only thing I'm nervous about, bro, is I'm nervous to like tweet it out to like my personal account, and all the TCU fans are gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Huh.
Yeah, that is true. But
It is what it is.
it is what I mean. Like, do you agree though to the points that I've made?
It's with the points you made, yes, and
Okay.
like I will say, I am always very like gravely disappointed in some of the turnouts we have. Some like for some games, even though it's not a huge game, you should want to watch your team. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I don't know.
Do better.
Yeah, do better, really.
Do
I mean,
better.
like
Do better
we have a good game day experience in the sense that like we have a nice stadium, we sell beer at the stadium. It's just a nice place to watch a football game, but at the same time, it's 100 degrees, people get in fights.
We do not travel to other places well.
other than Baylor and SMU. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
I've
say
heard-
for bowl games, we do actually travel very well.
Well,
like
I was
for
saying like
The Rose Bowl.
when people do go to other places, they just make a fool of themselves. Like I've heard stories of like people pissing on a dance floor in the middle of Norman, Oklahoma at a TCU OU game, like the night before.
Well, I'm sure
to
to an
get too
extent
drunk.
that happens to.
That happens, but like
Yeah.
apparently at this bar, like no TCU kids are ever allowed back. Like if you have TCU stuff on, you can't come into the bar
Jesus Christ.
because it was that bad. So I don't know. This is a sign. This is us GCD Sports telling our alma mater or your current school, my alma mater, do better.
Do better. Yeah.
Do better.
Now, I agree with the points you made. Yeah, definitely not scum of the earth. I think the thing is,
Nah.
though, out of the pretty shitty teams, we're like the best of this group
100%.
in terms of like fan base, experience, program, history, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, fuck all these guys. All right, well, that's our tier list. We went down for best of the best all the way down to respect for even going to the games, and that's made up of Kansas, Duke, and Vanderbilt. So We will be posting this on our social medias at the conclusion of the episode. But for now, it's time to wrap it up with some Love It or Loathe It.
Let's do it.
All right. There we go. All righty. Let's get it. I got to get this fancy dancy Love It or Loathe It banner going. Boom. All righty. Do you want to take the first set or you want me to?
I'll take the first set.
All righty. So first things first, South Carolina will be starting a graduate assistant coach, Zeb Noland, at quarterback for week 1 after their starter, Luke Doughty, came down with an injury.
Yeah, I love this. This is insane. Apparently, he had like 1 year eligibility left and is going to start. I think that's crazy that we got there. I don't think this is a COVID thing either.
No, it was purely injury, yeah.
Purely injuries. So, damn. That'd be cool if he like balls out and turns into like an NFL prospect.
Yeah, like imagine he went to coach for the year and now he's the starting quarterback. What a turnaround.
Apparently backed up Trey Lance at NDSU. So.
Oh, that's something.
So he's not completely nobody.
All right, so next up is Ben Simmons told a reporter he wants out of Philadelphia and does not plan to return to training camp next month.
I love this. He's got Rich Paul as his agent. I don't know if you've heard about this, but Rich Paul himself is going through a lawsuit with Nerlens Noel. Have you heard about that?
I have not, no.
We should get into that at one point because it has the potential to be huge. But anyway, Rich Paul is kind of a shitty dude. So I guess he's telling Ben Simmons that he's better off somewhere else. And I guess the Philadelphia media got to him, which is pretty funny because it was only the media and the fans that were giving him hate, not the team itself. And he's like, fuck you guys, I'm out. Probably for not defending him.
Yeah, that's possible. I think it's an interesting move because I think he could have raised his stock a little bit more if he had played at Philadelphia. But, I mean, I guess he doesn't give a fuck what the team gets for him, you know?
Yeah.
All right, next up is Malcolm Butler is considering retirement due to personal situation that's kept him away from the team for weeks.
Loathe it. I don't have much to say about it.
All righty. Javier Baez gives Mets fans a thumbs down anytime he gets on base recently because, quote unquote, when we play bad, they boo. So when we play good, I'll boo them back.
I love this. This is hilarious. Hopefully Mets fans take it in a good way and they learn to love this because this is like a cool all-time interaction between players and fans.
Dude, it's like it's kind of turned into a Mets versus Mets fan rivalry, though, bro.
Yeah, that's hilarious, too. But, like, if the Mets do good, like, Mets fans are going to be happy.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, I'm sure there's going to be T-shirts at Citi Field where it's like, bring me the booze or, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something cool. Okay. Miami Dolphins emerge as favorites to land Deshaun Watson in a trade.
I loathe this one. I won't speak too much on it, but I think this just shows you wrote this in your blog. Check this out on gtdsports.com. Elijah wrote a blog on this. But it just shows that they don't trust Tua. And so I think it's too early for that. So I loathe that.
Mm-hmm. Eagles acquired Gardner Minshew for conditional 6th round pick.
I love this. It's going to be weird with Minshew not at Jacksonville. He loved that team. He put his all into that team. So maybe he might not be the happiest about it, but I think this was a good move for him. You know, he may be able to compete with Jalen Hurts for a starting job. I don't know how that'll pan out. I think Hurts should be the starter. But this may be another opportunity for Minshew. So I love it for that reason.
So I think for me, this is Minshew's path to becoming the next Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, or like Nick Foles kind of guy.
I think he's going to be another one of those journeyman guys that just everybody loves. I really do. That's how I see where he's going to play like pretty well. He's going to have a long career, but he's just never going to be like, you know, the guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, that would be I feel like that would be a great career for him. You know?
If he
would fit that role really well.
If he had a Fitzmagic type career, I would love that. I would love to keep seeing his face on TV. Dude's
Minshew Mania, you know, because he already has the nickname, bro. Fitzpatrick has Fitzmagic, and now it's Minshew Mania. Like,
dude, it's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
Destiny.
To Gardner Minshew, unless he becomes the franchise guy, which I hope he does someday.
That would be cool to see too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
All right.
loves him.
Larry Fitzgerald has more career tackles with 37 than drops, 29.
I love this. I think in terms of the all-time greatest wide receiver conversation, Larry Fitzgerald is vastly underrated. I would never compare him to guys like Randy Moss or Jerry Rice, but Larry Fitzgerald is been probably the most consistent wide receiver in the history of the NFL. He goes out, he does his job exactly how he needs to. He has the most reliable hands you could ask for. So I love that. That's pretty crazy stat though.
Yeah. Would you put him on the Mount Rushmore of wide receivers? So like top 4?
Probably not. I don't know. I would have to look. I would have to like
look.
visually see like a list. I don't
Jerry
know.
Rice 1-1, no doubt.
Yeah, Jerry Rice number 1.
All right, and then last but not least, Ronaldo returns to Man U.
I loathe this, but I want to talk about it. I absolutely am distraught at what has happened in the last week in global football. Ronaldo was originally scheduled, or not scheduled, but all the rumors, all the signs were pointing towards Ronaldo signing with Manchester City, which would have sucked because Man City is already great. But at the same time, I would have much, much preferred seeing him play for Man City than back at Manchester United, who is one of the most toxic fan bases in the entire fucking world. So that's going to be painful to see. It's really going to be tough knowing that Manchester United is actually back to their glory days and will likely win the league even. So I'm just kind of bummed. It's fucking sad, bro.
Yeah.
Why can't Arsenal sign anybody?
I don't know. Arsenal's like really bad right now.
Dude, we just lost to Man City 5-0 this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I woke up at 6:30 for the game. I checked my phone. We were losing after 2 minutes of the game. We were down 1-0, and I was like, yeah, fuck that. I just went back to sleep. So didn't miss much there. Yeah, I'm curious to see how Ronaldo does with Man U. I'm sure he'll do just fine. But
yeah, because that's where he started at.
Yeah, well, he started it at Sporting Lisbon, but then his real start was at Man U. Like his real first major league performance and career was with Man U. Yeah. It's kind of what set him up for success.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. We hope you guys enjoyed our first of many twice a week episodes starting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This was the first week we did that. So make sure you guys check in again on Thursday. We'll be live on Twitch, YouTube, everything like that. Our schedule for our time is still up in the air a little bit. I'm a senior in college. Elijah just graduated, on the hunt for jobs right now. So our schedules are still a bit up in the air. So bear with us while we figure some stuff out and get a more concrete schedule put out in the next few days. But for now, just be on the lookout for our notifications. We will be posting on our social media, and we'll for sure be live some point on Thursday, talking more about college football, NFL as we get closer to that. So with that being said, thanks for listening. We'll see y'all on Thursday.